welcome to Daily Dictation. This is an interactive video to help you practice your English skills. I'm going to read 5 sentences about the topic of hobbies, specifically sports, and you will write down each sentence exactly how you hear it to practice your listening and your writing skills. This video is for low intermediate learners. This is a skill that is best developed if you practice every day. So there's new sentences each weekday, new topics each week, and 2 English levels offered if you find this video too easy. The instructions. You will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil or a blank document that you can type into. 5 sentences will be read. Each sentence will be read 3 times and 1 more time at the end. You have to write down each sentence exactly as you hear it. You will use your listening skills to do this. Try your best to apply the correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. On the screen, you're going to see numbers 1 to 5. Each number represents a different sentence that will be read. We're going to start with sentence number 1. Number 1. The field was filled with excited players. The field was filled with excited players. The field was filled with excited players. Number 2. The game was intense and the score changed often. The game was intense and the score changed often. The game was intense and the score changed often. Number 3. Each player contributed to the team. Each player contributed to the team. Each player contributed to the team. Number 4. The competition was very tough. The competition was very tough. The competition was very tough. Number 5. The referee made the call. The referee made the call. The referee made the call. I'm going to read each sentence one more time, starting from the top. Number 1. The field was filled with excited players. Number 2. The game was intense and the score changed often. Number 3. Each player contributed to the team. Number 4. The competition was very tough. Number 5. The referee made the call. All right, so that is all of the sentences for today. Let's get ready to check our answers. If you found that it was a little bit fast or unclear, you can listen again. And if it was too fast, you can adjust the playback speed in the settings of the video to make it go slower. You need to just listen to specific sentences again, not because of the speed or anything. You just want to listen again. Check the description for timestamps, and this will help you listen to specific sentence numbers. So let's check our answers, starting with number 1. The field was filled with excited players. Now, this one might have been a little bit tricky because of field and filled. They sound really similar. So, of course, we can see that there is a slight change in how it is pronounced. Field has the long E sound because of the IE, and filled has a short I sound because we have a double consonant L right here. Field, filled. There is a slight difference. Now, field, if you've been following this week, you know it's one of our dictation words, so hopefully that helped you out a little bit in just the context of everything. The field is the subject here, and filled is an adjective. So because we have was, the form of be, we know that we must follow with an adjective. So field cannot go here because field is a noun. It is not an adjective. It would only make sense as a subject in this case. With excited players. Now here we have excited, which is kind of a tricky word. So you want to put excite as two parts, splitting up the EX and the CITE because people get this X and C mixed up. Excited. And some people forget the C here, which means exited. Exited, to exit the building, for example. So that one wouldn't work. Let's look at sentence number 2. The game was intense and the score changed often. So we have one idea, the game was intense, and another idea, the score changed often. So both of these parts could stand alone, no problem. So they're both independent. We only need and we don't need any comma. Intense might have been tricky. Intense, you can split it up like this, or intense, you can split up like this if it was hard. The issue with this one is a lot of people actually want to put CE after learning a lot about the CE rules. I think that there's a CE here, but it's not true. There's an SE. And changed is a little bit hard because it's G, because it's followed by an E. It makes the J sound. So that's a little bit tricky. It needs to be memorized. Number 3, each player contributed to the team. Contributed, if you're not aware, it means add or help something, usually add to something. You can even say, I contributed money, I contributed time, when you add something to make something happen. That would be the hardest word for spelling. And contributed is a verb, by the way. So we have each player, that's the subject, contributed, and then to the team, that's the object. So contributed for spelling, just split it up into smaller bits. Contribute, like that. Contribute. That's the best way to split it up into smaller bits. Let's go to number 4. The competition was very tough. The competition is the subject. Was is our verb in the form of be. Now we have our adjective here. And very is an adverb. So for spelling, we have the competition. So yon. That's the best way to split up into smaller bits so you remember your letter order. And tough is another really tricky spelling because this GH makes an F sound. And it only does this sometimes in English. So unfortunately, there's not many tricks. This has to be memorized, unfortunately. So I would practice using the word tough a lot to memorize the spelling. Because there's 2 things that are wrong. Commonly when I see this word used by English learners is, first of all, people put the F here because that's what it sounds like. Or people will maybe remember reading it and think, okay, I'm going to put the PH here. That's also wrong. And then people also forget the O and just put U, but it's O-U together. So you have to kind of memorize the spelling. Let's look at number 5. The referee made the call. This one's pretty straightforward. The referee is the subject, made is the verb, the call is the object. All the words are pretty short. Referee might have been a tricky one, split it up into 3 parts. Re. Just really memorizing that there's 2 E's at the end because some people will forget that. And if you split up in smaller parts, you'll remember these E's, which are commonly forgotten because 4 E's seem like so much for one word, but there are 4 E's. That's not an error, that's correct. So that is some of the grammar explained, some of the sentence breakdowns explained, and some spelling tips and tricks. Now, these bold words were dictation words for this week, some really good vocabulary words to know for this subject, for this topic. So let's have a closer look at the dictation words. So here are the vocabulary words to review. The word team, coach, game, score, player, competition, field, referee, victory, exercise. Make sure you practice the spelling of these words, know the different word forms, know how to put them into sentences, whether you're speaking or writing, because if you're able to use this, especially in an exam that has an interview like IELTS or something like that, when you're talking about your hobbies, using these words when you talk about sports shows that you have a very good range of vocabulary, which is a very big and important portion of IELTS or any other kind of proficiency exam. Besides that, we're all finished for today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on practicing your English the best that you can. I'll see you next time. Bye.